M.A.R.S, or its full name, Mercenary Assault and Recon Squad, it's not out yet, but I did get to participate in its most recent closed beta. This is a third-person shooter that when it launches is going to be free to play. I didn't get to experience everything, but from what I did see, there is a lot to do in this game. It takes the old third-person arcade shooter formula and brings it into this new online modern experience. I spent most of my time messing around in the PvE aspects as I don't really do much PvP, so this is what it's mostly going to be on. But even so, there's enough PvE content here to keep anyone busy for hundreds of hours. The main game modes we're going to touch on here were Assault Ops, M.A.R.S Biochemical Crisis, Bullet Rain, and Kill Everything 2.0. I'd say Assault Ops is kind of the truest form to an arcade formula where you load into this linear map as a member of a task force and you push your way through different sections of a map in order to complete your mission. Cutscenes quickly take you from one part of the level to the next, and the style and feel of them is as arcadey as it gets. The fast gameplay, short sections, and varying environments keep you on your toes and locked in as you progress from one area to the next. On top of this, you can play with up to 3 others in most of the missions, with everyone starting together at the beginning, or players can drop in and out at any time. When one player makes it to a checkpoint, everyone else is brought along instantly through a short and quick transitional cutscene, and this is really awesome because it keeps everyone together working on the same objectives, and it keeps the momentum of the levels bustling. No one ever gets left behind. It's great and action-packed, and the level design is top high-quality content. Seriously, they really do deserve a lot of praise for that. M.A.R.S Biochemical Crisis continues along a similar line to Assault Ops, except now you are pushing through a much longer linear zombie-filled level, where there's a lot less transitional cutscenes because everything is just continuous. It keeps you on your toes as you spend most of your time pushing through tons of corridors and tunnels filled with undead as you try to reach the endpoint. Zombies wait for you along the path, they spawn out of the many side hallways and corridors, and even climb out of the ground underneath you. There are a large variety of different types of undead that will easily keep you busy in adapting your strategy as you go. There's basic undead, hulking meatheads, explosive barrel throwers, and even these charging brutes that not only take a beating, but they deliver a huge amount of one. This is the kind of game mode you want to invite your friends to play with because this is an absolute blast with getting a group together. Bullet Rain is a classic round survival mode where you survive against waves of oncoming enemies. Each wave comes a little tougher, and even with a few more enemies and different variations of them as you go. You see a lot of the enemies from Assault Ops in here, but that's not a problem because this new approach of holding your ground instead of trying to push through the level brings it into a whole new entire experience, holding off against sometimes what feels like overpowering odds. The last game mode I spent a fair amount of time in was the well-named Kill Everyone 2.0. This is essentially the zombie game mode introduced and made popular in Call of Duty, but with more of an arcadey feel to it. You fight your way through hordes of different zombies in order to make money so that you can buy your way through different areas of the levels. Purchasing doors you find will open up these new areas with more sections to explore and sometimes even different traps or elements that you can activate to assist you. What's great about this is you get to decide how difficult you want this mode to be by going through however many rounds you think you can manage before purchasing the final door, which takes you into a stage separate from the rest of the level where you go toe-to-toe against the final boss. This boss comes with a large pool of health, devastating attacks, and once he's whittled down enough, a short cutscene plays and you face off against his second, even more powerful form before it's all over. When first launching the game, you are introduced to a basic form of character creation. You can choose your gender, some appearance options, and then dive straight into a tutorial that explains the basic elements of movement and combat in the game. It's short, but it gives you all the information you need to know how to play. However, once you leave the tutorial, it can feel a bit overwhelming as you're now presented with a ton of different options through this menu with no instructions on what they do or how to navigate them. On top of that, each main menu option has a collection of even more options underneath them that could really use with a bit of an explanation. I avoided most of them for a lot of my playthrough, but the one I wish I'd started delving into sooner was the warehouse inside the Armory. This lets you equip items and gear that you've acquired from completing different missions and even lets you add upgrades to them. This makes you more powerful, lets you use different weapon types, and makes completing difficult missions more possible. My only big complaint is that to play the game, it requires you to download their own game launcher, and as far as I can tell, there's no option to make it so that it doesn't launch on startup. Hopefully they address this soon and add it as an option. But after all that, what's most apparent is the developers have spent a lot of time honing their craft in the level design of this new modern online version of the arcade third-person shooter. There was not a single moment where I was bored or felt tired of things because of their near-perfect implementation of pacing in the levels. Again, they really do deserve a lot of praise for this. Few games achieve it so well. So, should you play M.A.R.S or Mercenary Assault and Recon Squad? In a score of should you, I give this game some awkwardly bouncing boobies out of 5. What? That wasn't a proper scoring, but thanks for checking out my video anyways. Want to see more reviews? Check out some of the others I've done or subscribe to get notifications on new ones every Thursday. If you want to be a part of the review process, I play many of these games live here on YouTube and Twitch on Thursdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time and occasionally other days during the week. Is there a game you want to see reviewed? Click the link in the description below so you can spam it at me in the Discord. Spencer out.